All right, well, let us begin our meditation. So just beginning to settle into your seat and feeling the support of Mother Earth below you. And allowing your inhale and your exhale to be like the tides, just coming and going, just ebbing and flowing. And I want to begin our practice by reading you something that was written by E.B. White in 1973. She was writing a letter to someone named Mr. Nadu. As long as there is one upright man, as long as there is one compassionate woman, the contagion may spread and the scene is not desolate. Hope is the thing that is left to us in a bad time. I shall get up Sunday morning and wind the clock as a contribution to order and steadfastness. Sailors have an expression about the weather. They say the weather is a great bluffer. I guess the same is true of our human society. Things can look dark. Then a break shows in the clouds and all is changed, sometimes rather suddenly. It is quite obvious that the human race has made a queer mess of life on this planet. But as a people, we probably harbor seeds of goodness that have lain for a long time, waiting to sprout when the conditions are right. Man's curiosity, his relentlessness, his inventiveness, his ingenuity have led him into deep trouble. We can only hope that these same traits will enable him to claw his way out. Hang on to your hat, hang on to your hope, and wind the clock, for tomorrow is another day. And I thought this was so perfect for our practice this morning of planting a seed. So allowing your body to settle just a bit, allowing the weight to ground you in your seat, on your cushion, wherever you might be sitting. And with each exhale, just relaxing the muscles just a little more deeply, allowing them to settle around the bones, dropping the shoulders. Relaxing your jaw. Maybe you can even imagine the brain sitting in your skull and just inviting it to soften, as if it's taking a little nap. And all of its muscles, all of its nerve endings, all of its signals just shut off for a little while. And we allow our attention to be focused on our hearts. As we breathe into the heart and we exit from the heart. Just inhaling and filling and exhaling and letting it flow through the heart. We're going to invite in a little imagination this morning, a little visualization as we practice planting our seed. So perhaps you can imagine yourself as a small seed, whether you're nestled in the pocket of a farmer's jeans or in the hands of the farmer or the gardener or the florist. Just imagining yourself as a small seed. Not really knowing what's inside of you, not really needing to know what's inside of you, but just simply knowing that there's potential there. feeling held amongst the other seeds, nestled closely, snuggled in. And imagine the gardener creating a small space in the dirt for you, digging a hole with their hand or a small trowel, and placing you ever so gently in the soil, in this open vessel of the earth. As we breathe in and we breathe out and settle into our little space. As the dirt is gently covered over us, it is dark, but it is warm. It's a safe space. And just settling into the quiet of the earth as we breathe in and we breathe out. Noticing if there's any tension in the body and just allowing that to soften as you settle into the earth. You may sit in this place of wondering, of stillness, of patience, of anticipation, and just watching and witnessing what arises in this safe, dark space you are in, this place of the unknown. Maybe imagining all the other seeds somewhere nearby, also sitting nestled in the dark. As we continue to imagine, perhaps we can imagine the clouds way above us opening up. And we feel the rain begin. We can hear it coming down. We know it's above us. As it seeps into the soil, it slowly drips into the earth as we inhale and exhale. And we feel a drop touching the shell of our seed, the shell of our own bodies, in this seed-like imagination that we're creating for ourselves. We feel the water. We feel the soil moisten and loosen up. And surround us in a little hug. And then there's a crack. We feel our skin, our shell open up just a little bit. And we watch with wonder what is arising, what is pushing from inside of us to our outsides, wanting to emerge. As we breathe in and we breathe out. We feel a sense of desire, of pushing, of creation, of ingenuity, of hope. As this crack begins to open just a little bit more and something pushes from inside and begins to emerge to the outside. as it reaches up and out, wanting more water, knowing that there is warmth. You can feel the sun beaming down onto the soil, knowing that if it continues to reach higher, it will eventually hit the light. So perhaps you can imagine yourself stretching and slowly emerging towards the top of the soil as you breathe in and you breathe out. Your imagination can take you as slowly as you like, or maybe it's a quick bit of growth extending to the soil, whatever you need in this moment, in that imagination, which is simply watching this emerging. And as your tiny sprout begins to emerge its head through the soil, notice what you see. Maybe it's the bright sun. Maybe you notice other sprouts around you. Maybe you notice you're in an open field or a full garden. Allowing your imagination to just drift. And then tuning back into yourself. What do you look like? What kind of a sprout are you? As you continue to watch yourself grow and emerge, what are you turning into? A flower, a plant, a vegetable, a vine, ground cover? Continuing to imagine the warmth of the sun, feeling the breeze in the air, the nurturing of the soil as your roots grow down, yet your sprout goes upwards. As we breathe in and we breathe out, feeling a lifting in your growth and a grounding into the earth and the soil. What is it you are becoming? And as you sit in your natural beauty, whatever that is that emerged, just knowing that it came from you, knowing that it's possible, in any moment to continue to allow the cracks to open and watch and wait. Soak in the water, the soil, even the darkness, and breathing it in and allowing it to flow through you, allowing it to be breathed out with this ease, and breathing back in the sunshine, breathing back in the water and the wind and the soil. Maybe the touch of the gardener's hand. Maybe you can imagine in your full bloom that you drop a new seed, that you drop a seed of your beingness, of your beauty, of whatever it is you offer the world, whatever it is you often offer the garden, a new seed to be planted that comes from you, an offering, a gift, your light, your beingness, your creativity, your integrity. As we breathe in and we release our seed into the soil. As we breathe in and we breathe out. I encourage you to stand tall in your own beauty, whatever that may be for yourself. Allow it to shine and be shared with one or many. Yet continuing to nurture your own soul, your own needs for water and soil and sunlight and wind. It's this wonderful ebb and flow, give and take. As you tune back into your own seat and where you are now in this moment. And at any time, continuing to imagine yourself as this wonderful growth, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And that every moment is an opportunity to expand that by nurturing yourself and just planting any seed each day of intention, of potential growth, and being the witness to whatever arises. As we breathe in And breathe out. So I think of this, as a creative person myself, and Eric, I know you are, and Rob, I know you're very creative in your own way as well. But I love this practice just because there's always like this opening that can happen especially when we're in the dark, so to speak. There's always potential and possibility for something new or some creation or some crack or opening to happen. And when we can just settle into the dark versus trying to push it away, but just let it emerge as it needs. And with each bit of nurturing that we do, but remembering to really allow for that self-care and space to let it emerge. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I know for myself, I need to make sure that I create that space before I share it with anybody else, so to speak. So that is the intention of the day.
Thank you. Yeah, that was, just a different approach to the meditation that I've been practicing. So it's to approach it from a different angle. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you don't mind sharing, I'd love to know what you guys emerged as.
I was a vigorous pole bean.
Oh, wow.
It grows and grows and grows and grows and grows like Jack and the Beanstalk, and makes new beans for the next year and the next and the next.
I love that. Because are they a perennial?
You have to plant, well, they make the seeds and then you plant them again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But they make easy to store the beans and plant them again.
Yep.
And it was perfect timing because my husband and I had a disagreement this morning about our vegetable garden. So I'm like, well, what do you know?
Yeah.
Isn't this perfect?
Well, it's funny. We're going to be spending a lot of time with either ourselves or with our family members in a new way. And I'm noticing already even small little arguments or tensions, and it's just really having to check in not only with where they are, but myself, and saying, all right, this is going to happen. Let's just again, like, make that space and allow for the crack, allow for the breaking and the darkness, and then pausing and watching what emerges from that. Like, how can we even shift into a new way of existing together or with ourselves? And I think at every moment we're going to see something new, because we're going to be able to be more aware of it too. We're not going to be able to just run and say, oh, I got to go do something, or forget it, I don't have time for this. But we have time for it. And I actually think that we'll be able to deepen within ourselves as well as with our partners or with our friends or family or, pets even. But we have the time, and I think it's important to take the time and not run from it, because darkness can feel really scary. And, I've noticed a lot of people, and even myself, are doing these practices where we imagine breathing in light and pushing out, negativity. I'll just add to that, like, watch the pushing away. Let it be something that is also allowed to flow for a moment. transfer, meaning that you're
Mhm.
watching it and observing it and then allowing it to move through you. Because I think there might be this instinct to push away
Mhm.
and only take in. And what I know from the quantum physics thing is what we pay attention to is what's going to manifest. But that doesn't mean that we push away negativity. It means that we just observe so that we can notice it coming up and shift.
Yeah.
So that's just something that I thought I'd bring forth because I noticed it even in myself that just I wanted to breathe in the good and push out the bad, you know. But just again, just staying with it for a moment so you give yourself that time to watch.
Yeah. And to understand your relationship to that bad or the darkness.
That's right.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's an opening.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to let the crack, so to speak, do its magic. So, well, I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I think I'm going to take it slow today and not try to put too much on my plate. Read a book, but if you're one of those people that needs to go burn a workout, then have a great time.
Thanks, Kim. That was
All right.
awesome.
I know, great. And I'll be back on Tuesday and Thursday again this week, and also Friday evening. So same link every time. I don't change the link, even if I'm doing it in the other group. It's always my Zoom link. So you can either bookmark it on your computer. I don't know how you might do it on the phone, but anyway, it's always the same link. So you can always go back to my Facebook page, and any of the posts that say Zoom will be that link. So if you ever forget. So. All right. Well, have a great day, you guys.
Be great. Thanks, Kim.
All right. Take care.
Bye, Karen.
Bye.